Hello everyone, welcome back to Susie Saves. I am Susie and we are finally here, the long-awaited new budget. So to be completely transparent, not a lot of stuff is changing. We're pretty laser focused on saving right now, but we are now dual income. We received my husband's paycheck last night, and so we're going to go ahead and get started. So it is the 11th. Luckily, it looks like he will be getting paid like early morning on Fridays, which won't change anything with my going to the bank to get cash for envelopes or anything like that, which is great. So let's get into it. We have, I'll put Susie, 9 to 5. Husband's 9 to 5, and then he got his bonus as well. I'll put an H there. So, I only worked 4 days last week, so it was $717. And I want to work you through some of the numbers for my husband's paycheck just to make a little bit more sense. So the actual number that was deposited into our account was $6,677. I tried to do my best to deduce how much of that was his actual income versus his bonus. And I think I'm going to stay with the bonus being $5,000. That would mean that his 2-week paycheck was $1,677. I'm going to go ahead and round that. Actually, $1,677. Maybe we'll just divide it here. Anyway. He gets paid for every 2 weeks of work. I get paid weekly, and I budget weekly. So I'm going to go ahead and divide, oopsies. Did I mess up? I did. 1677. I'm going to go ahead and divide it by 2. So that way next week we'll still have some of that income to work with. So we're going to remove that decimal because we always round down when talking about income, which means his weekly income would be $838. Now, to be completely transparent, the sign-on bonus has to be vetted, so he has to stay at the company for a year to, like, not pay this back. And because of that, this entire sign-on bonus is going into a CD. We're not going to touch it because I'm not going to force my husband to keep working the job he doesn't like for $5,000. Like, that's not worth it to me. So we're not going to calculate this money into our goals this week because it is going away. We're going to put it away, and then this time next year we'll pull it out and do something with it if we really, really want to. So we'll probably just roll it over into whatever house fund we have at that time. So let's jump into it. So I made $717. My husband made $838. That leaves us with our weekly budget of $1,555. That's a crazy number. Yeah, that means we make $6,000. Dang, we in a new tax bracket. I think. I don't really know how tax brackets work. Cool. Okay. So we made $1,555. What a nice number. This week. Let's talk about what we're going to do with it. So we have rent. We have internet. These are non-variable expenses. Then we have subscriptions. We have the gym and YouTube Premium. Then we have spending money. Let's do variable expenses first. So we have gas, groceries, and then I put money away for miscellaneous. And then we have spending money. Okay. So, for full transparency, when we had the medical emergency I took $100 out of our out of our 1 month ahead for rent. So I'm going to add that $100 back plus the $200 for rent. So that's going to be $300 this month. Internet is still going to get this $23, even though we've negotiated that lower bill. I do want to make sure that we have enough money in there. Technically, it's $75 a month now, so we would only have to put in $19, but it could always fluctuate and go back up. The internet, at least our provider, is kind of bad about that, so I've been keeping a really good track of it lately, though. The gym, we're gonna put 5 and 5 for both the gym and YouTube. Technically, the gym is only $16 a month. No, it is 18, I think. But we round up, so 5. And then YouTube is 20 a month, which is 5. Gas is getting 100, 50 for me, 50 for my husband. Groceries, we're gonna stay at 60 for now and see if this week's lunches, like last week's, end up costing more than we expect. So last week we had to buy a little bit of extra stuff because my husband now works, so he normally would just like make food at home, but obviously you can't like boil pasta at work, so we had to buy a little bit of different food to take to work and stuff. So I'll see if this is fine. I think after this week we'll get into the rhythm of it and this will be a fine number, but I do want to be open to upping this if we need to. Miscellaneous gets 30, and then we both get $50 for spending money. So we will see about that. This means our expenses, oopsies. I think that's right. Yeah, because that is up. So yeah, 100, 200, 500, and then, yeah, 100, yeah. So our total expenses this week are $623. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. Pardon me. So without this $100 for replacement, this is about a third of our paycheck, which is really good for expenses. I'm gonna sneeze again. Pardon me. That's really good. I really like that our expenses are so low right now. So next is, we'll do our sinking funds next. I've not yet decided to add money or add like more categories to the sinking fund. We will be adding date night and we will be adding summertime. I just don't know how much to add to both or when to start that. We probably will start them next week, but I haven't decided yet. So we have car maintenance, my car insurance, and my phone bill. My husband is still on both. His parents still pay for his stuff. I'm also on my family's plan, but I pay my parents to be on that. Then we have gifts, pets, and health. Okay. So car maintenance is actually getting most of the extra money this week, so I'm going to put $240 into that. We just changed out my husband's headlights, so that's good, but he needs brakes. I don't know how much brakes cost, but I also need rear suspension, I'm thinking, because when I drive, my car squeaks, and I'm pretty sure the squeaks is the rear suspension. So we'll have a little bit of car stuff going on. I want to front load that. I don't want to have to try to come up with that money out of nowhere, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that this week. Car insurance and phone bill are both like $350 a year, which breaks down to $13 a week. Gifts is getting 10. Next week we'll be stuffing gifts all the way, which might sound crazy. So I have a birth coming up, and so it is someone very close to me, and so I am going to be giving them quite a lot of money for that, and so we'll just do that next week, and then after that, at the end of the month, we should be looking really good at starting to put a lot of money into savings. Pets is getting 10, and then health is getting 10. I forgot to put this down here. Okay. So this brings us up to $296 in our sinking funds. And now, oh, we don't have debt. It's always good to say that, just so people know. And now on to savings, which is obviously super duper important. So at this point in time, oopsies, 1555, 623, 296. We have $636 to put into savings to have a zero-based budget, which notably is slightly higher than our expenses, which is good. So we have the checking account buffer, my Roth IRA, my husband's Roth, our stocks, and then our emergency fund. Okay, so the weekly Roth is $135. So both of us are getting that. Stocks is getting my pay increase, which was $25. And then, so the 3 to 6 month that we're putting in is actually what my husband spent in Seattle. I'm gonna go ahead and refill that account, and then whenever that reimbursement comes in, that will just be income, because I'm gonna go ahead and just fill that with what we have right now, and that was $337. So leaves us $4 for buffer, which is perfect. I don't like that number being higher than $5. So there we go. Thank you everyone so much for being here today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.